CaribJet, the most experienced travel agency company in Grenada, serving our clients and businesses for over 40 years. IATA accredited, we issue tickets on 280 airlines, representatives for Condor, the German airlines, and main agents for Virgin, KLM and Air France. We're specialists to the Middle East. Walk in to our ticket office at Maurice Bishop Highway, call 439-4444, WhatsApp 534-7755 or visit caribjet.com.
From the farm to the store to your home, supporting farmers, catering for your needs. The Food Fair Supermarket provides fresh fruits and vegetables from its 2 convenient locations for over 5 decades. The Food Fair Supermarkets, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
What you gonna do when the rain is coming down? Nothing more to do when there's no one else around. Bring it back to the middle, push, take it back to the rhythm. Keep it up for good when the sky's falling down. All you gotta do is to bring it to the ground. Hit it up to your inner move. Stop, start, down. Nobody can get what you're going through.
Hello and welcome to the MTV Evening News for Wednesday the 8th of March. Coming up this evening, International Women's Day 2023 Expo that highlights women in male-dominated fields. Sandals Grenada meanwhile treats female staffers to a tea party with a difference for International Women's Day. And Pump It Up is back. Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited launching its annual Pump It Up Family Fun Walk. In sport, Pan Am Sports Women in Sports Commission hosts first Women in Sports Forum. We'll have details to those and other stories coming up for you, right along with the public forecast information, and right after the break. Stay with us.
Easter is coming, and that means it's time to do some spring cleaning. It's time to upgrade and refresh your home today and save up to 30% off store-wide. Change off that old lounge chair, dining room table, or any furniture item now and save big. Plus, shop our large selection of appliances, televisions, and electronics for the biggest deals. No cash, no problem. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance and pay $0 for 30 days. And before you check out, don't forget to add extended warranty with our Quartz Super Shield product, which will protect your purchase for up to 4 years. This offer is available online at shopquartz.com for a limited time only. Act now before the deals are gone. Conditions apply. Quartz, bringing value home.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News comes to you compliment Nexa Credit Union. With you wherever your road leads.
But when you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever your road leads,
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Good evening, I'm Tony Julian with the details. Digit All, that's innovation and technology for gender equality, the theme under which International Women's Day 2023 was celebrated today, Wednesday the 8th of March. The Division of Gender and Family Affairs within the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs hosted an exposition to commemorate IWD 2023. Speaking of the opening ceremony was Philip Telesford, who noted that there was or are inherent systematic challenges rooted in gender inequality and the need for inclusion for a sustainable future. We get more details in this report.
Unfortunately, the digital revolution opportunity is not without inherent systematic challenges that are rooted in gender inequality. There is disparity in the context of digital skills and access to technologies, with women being left behind as a result of this digital gender divide.
That was Honorable Philip Telesford speaking on behalf of Senator the Honorable Gloria Thomas at the opening ceremony of the International Women's Day 2023 Expo at the Grenada Trade Center Annex. According to Minister Telesford, there is a crucial need for inclusion.
The need for inclusion and transformative technology and digital education is therefore crucial for a sustainable future.
Also giving brief remarks was President of the Grenada Parliament Women's Association and MP for St. Mark, Honorable Dr. Clarice Modest Kerwin.
Women have come a long way in terms of narrowing the gap, the gender gap in terms of achievement. And I am proud to say that when I see some of the women who are heads of major businesses in our country, I want to salute them. When I see women in the public service who are heads of the ministries, whichever ministry you go in, you see a lot of senior persons who are women. We have come a long way. In the small business sector, so many women have forged ahead to establish themselves and as viable business owners. But unfortunately, we still have a long way to go.
Also present at the ceremony and sharing brief remarks on behalf of the UK government and Parliament was Deputy Chair of the Conservative Party and Member of Parliament Nikki Akin.
In Britain, we have had 3 women Prime Ministers, and we are not going to stop there. We are going to ensure that we have more women representatives in our UK Parliament, and that we need to make sure that women's voices and girls' voices are heard across the globe, because we are half the population of this globe and we give birth to the other half. And therefore, we need to ensure that we are involved in policy making, that we are there at the very coalface of politics, because we have got to influence policy. We've got to ensure that women and girls' rights are there at the top in the United Kingdom and in Grenada.
Akin reminded the women and girls in the audience that they should not allow their challenges to deter them from achieving their goals. Notably, all members of Parliament and Cabinet were present at the ceremony, showing their support. Reporting for MTV News, I am Donella Hoston.
Females in the technological industry are being celebrated in the expo put on by the Gender and Family Affairs Division. Speaking with our news team were some of the participants who shared what they do, noting that they are engaged in male-dominated fields.
We just have a few things that we display for women in construction. Some of the equipments that we use, basically the measuring tapes, the safety vests, the hard hats. We also have laser tapes.
What we have here is a 3D printer, and it's printing a protractor. Now, this is just for this presentation. However, the limits are very wide. They have recently started doing buildings, and it's only in the testing phase, but buildings with 3D printers.
It's more along the lines of people understanding that something is available rather than it like specifically being male dominated. So you have a lot of males, young boys and so on, and they think, hey, you know what, I want to be this when I grow up. So with the girls, it's like, oh, well, you can also do this when you grow up.
Also speaking with our news team was students from the Boca Secondary School.
Currently at the Boca Secondary School, we have 12 subjects in the technical area. And right here we have a little video showcasing the different technical subjects that we offer and how these technical subjects are beneficial in our everyday life. Here we also have a little demonstration about different plans that the children did by hand. We have a roof plan and we also have 2 floor plans right here.
The participants shared too how they feel about being a part of such an expo.
Well, I'm very honored to be invited into this type of expo. Also not just being a young woman, but to show the different products I have and also to meet and greet with other women to see what they're doing and have a greater understanding of them.
We face a lot of adversities. We face a lot of issues when we go to the construction sites because of our stature, because of our gender. However, we are trying to chart the way forward so that the younger females in the society coming up could look at us as examples that they can take in order to be anything that they want to be.
I find it's a wonderful experience because before men were more seen as the dominant leader in these fields, but however, here it showcases that women too can become involved and we don't always need male figures.
Present at the expo were students from different schools across the island. The female staff members at Sandals Grenada were treated and pampered by their male managers as they joined in the international celebrations for International Women's Day. Well, every year, Sandals Grenada celebrates IWD differently. This year, they opted to take things a little bit further and treat the female staffers at an IWD tea party. Janelle Horston was there and filed a report.
As part of their annual celebrations for International Women's Day, Sandals Grenada opted to celebrate their female staff members through a tea party, which included a variety of other initiatives. Speaking to our news team about this year's activity was Nasha Smith-Bailey, Director of Sales, Groups and Conventions at Sandals Grenada.
Today we're just focusing on women, showing appreciation. We have the male managers serving the team members and making them feel, appreciated. We also have like the doctor here just speaking about women's health. We also have a makeup artist, just showing them how to enhance and make themselves look beautiful every day, as well as little things as showing them how to cook. We have a cooking demo. It's just a little bit of the things that women have to do every day. Or things that they encounter every day. We just try to bring it in one space and treat our team members to make them know that we appreciate them.
Feature speaker at the Sandals Grenada IWD event was Dr. Valma Jessamy, CEO and scientist at 21st Century Cures, a local company. Dr. Jessamy's address highlighted some of the ways women can help other women to move forward.
Well, first of all, I want to give thanks to all of the men who have opened doors for me and who have let me into those doors, where in fields that were traditionally male-dominated. And I also want to encourage women, once they get into closed doors, that they should leave it open so that other women could walk through those doors. And I will pretty much, share some of the ways as women we can hold the door open for others, to encourage them, to share, to mentor. It takes a lot of hard work to get ahead of as a woman in a male-dominated world. It's been very tough to get to this point.
According to Dr. Jessamy, she has broken many rules to get where she is.
I have broken a lot of rules to get here. Sometimes you have to break the rules. As women, we tend to be the ones who are the keepers of the rules and follow, the girls are meant to be quiet and sit inside while the boys can be rough and rumble and have a good time. But sometimes to get ahead, you have to break through the rules. Of course, not to be criminal, and that's not what I'm saying, but you have to get out of the box that society would often put you into, especially when it comes to career and following professional paths.
Reporting for MTV News, I am...
And Thomas Simon is the second centenarian to have celebrated 100th birthday last Friday. Simon celebrated her birthday at her home in Paraclete, St. Andrew, and was serenaded by relatives, friends, and residents in the community, including social workers from the Ministry of Social Development. According to one relative, she went to the Lafayette Roman Catholic School during her early years, moved to Chantabelle St. Patrick for some time, and then moved back to Paraclete, where she remained. She is also an avid church-goer and loves cooking and gardening. She's a mother of 4 and has witnessed the birth of her great-grandchildren. Simon spoke with our news team in a telephone interview on how she felt having achieved this significant milestone.
We're so grateful, thankful to God that all I have gone through and I reached that milestone. God is in control, and if they permit me, I will go further. Praise God for everything He has done for me. So I thank God for everything. And thank God for all my people, all the villagers. Everybody call me mommy. Because I used to do for everybody. I used to appreciate everything that somebody asked me to do. I will always do it. So they never forsake me.
Simon says she's grateful for all these sentiments expressed and will cherish them as long as she's alive.
So when they came here Sunday night, everybody could have said something good. It's not when you're gone. You can't hear when you go, you can't see. But everybody say what they have to say, and I heard it. So I was so glad, and I appreciate that. Oh, I appreciate the day. So I thank God for that.
Denise Warden of Industry St. Mark also celebrated her 100th birthday on Friday. Happy birthday to them both. That's the first segment of the news for Wednesday here on MTV. We'll be back with you after the break.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News came to you in association with Nexa Credit Union. With you wherever your road leads.
But when you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever your road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever your road leads, we'll make your dreams come true.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
It's a big one! People, the National Lotteries Authority's Lotto Jackpot is a whopping $354,000. Play today for chances at a more comfortable life for you and your loved ones. Lotto, play and win a lot of money.
Introducing the Grenlec mobile app. You can now get your bill balance and easily track energy usage for your home or business. Report and receive alerts about power outages. Plus, stay up to date by receiving the latest notifications. Yes, the Grenlec app keeps you connected anytime, anywhere. The Grenlec mobile app. Download for 24/7 access.
Pump It Up is back. Co-op Bank's Pump It Up Family Fun Walk will be back with a bang in 2023. Get ready to hit the road again for more fun, more smiles, more laughter, and lots of prizes. Join us in Carriacou on Sunday, March 26th at 4 p.m. as we pump it up from the Harveyvale playing field to the Hillsborough playing field. Then on Sunday, April 23rd at 4 p.m., we will make our way to the Grenada National Stadium from Montrouge playing field. Register today at any of our retail banking units with a minimum contribution of $10 to secure your package while stocks last. All contributions collected will go directly to the fund for the re-establishment of the Carlton Home. Come out in your numbers on the journey towards a healthy lifestyle and show your support for this worthy cause.
Welcome home. When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCroix Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment. As you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest, visit or call LaCroix Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCroix Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
The second segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with the Communal Cooperative Credit Union Limited. To grow with us, save with us.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
For your education.
for your financial freedom.
For that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
Welcome back. The Pump It Up Family Fun Walk event has returned after a 3-year hiatus, and according to one official from the Grenada Cooperative Bank, the proceeds from the activity will be used to support several charitable endeavors, including providing aid to substance abuse victims at the Carlton Home, which will soon be upgraded into a wellness center.
The Grenada Cooperative Bank held a press event at Koyaba Beach Resort on Wednesday to mark the official launch of the Pump It Up Family Fun Walk, to be held in April after a 3-year hiatus due to the COVID-19 pandemic and other factors. Managing Director at the Grenada Cooperative Bank is Larry Lawrence.
So between 2009 and 2015, the bank raised awareness about different health challenges and selected related charities to benefit from the proceeds of the walk. This has since changed. Everything changes, the only constant, it has to evolve. For the period 2017 to 2021, our focus is on the effects and the impact of substance abuse to our population. And as such, our charitable contributions are towards the re-establishment of the Carlton Home.
He also reaffirmed their commitment to directing the proceeds of the walk towards the Carlton Home Fund.
Similarly, Core Bank further committed to increasing the amount match for each participant registered from $1 to $1.50 per person per mile. In addition to the bank's contribution based on the number of people registered, we are pleased to announce that for 2023, all collections from the sale of packages will be deposited directly to re-establishment of the Carlton Home Fund.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Kevin Andel, highlighted plans by government for the establishment of wellness centers across the country, beginning with the Carlton Home.
This approach to health is a part of the National Transformation Agenda, which strives to transform our communities by deliberate delivery of multidimensional benefits to our citizens through their active participation in all aspects of country and their lives. We have some key initiatives that we're looking to do for the year: a national wellness policy, the commissioning of national wellness centers, and Carlton House would be our first national wellness center.
He further highlighted the scope of work to be completed.
The Ministry of Health, we are beginning the first phase of the Carlton Home through a CDB-funded program called Health Sector Strengthening Project. That would start with the design of Carlton Home for 2023 and first quarter of 2024. After that would be the second phase, which would be the rebuilding of that wellness center. The project has allocated $630,000 US for phase one, and we are looking to secure the rest of the funds for phase two.
For MTV News, Troy Gill.
Attorney at law Jerry Edwin says mentally ill inmates should not be placed at the prison according to the law. His comments came after the Ministry of Health began the construction of a facility at the prison late last year to place mentally ill inmates.
They will tell you what the law is. The law is that you cannot house mentally challenged inmates at the prison or at the grounds of the prison. That is a challenge that surely will succeed if inmates are placed there.
Attorney at law Jerry Edwin voiced his concerns on the number of mentally ill inmates currently at His Majesty's prison. According to him, proper facilities should be constructed to house inmates. He says it's illegal to house inmates on the grounds of the prison.
Late last year, it was learned that the Ministry of Health had commenced the construction of a facility at the prison. That facility was designated for the housing of mentally ill inmates. Because for many years, the chief judge in Grenada, that is the person of Justice Paula Guilford, at the closing of every assizes, she keeps making the point that we cannot house mentally incapacitated persons who have committed offenses at the prison.
According to Edwin, the relevant authorities should place a secure wing at the Mungay facility to house mentally ill inmates.
Well, without consulting anyone, the last government decided, in its wisdom, ill-advised, to construct a building on the grounds of the prison to house inmates. Well, certainly that dog will not bark, and that building will not house a single inmate, simply because it's illegal. Should be removed off the grounds of the prison and in the Mungay facility. That's what the law requires. And that's what consultation is. I think that the high-handed approach of the last administration, without speaking to the bar, without speaking to the judges, deciding on their own in what I have described as ill-advised. Speak to the subject matter experts.
Edwin spoke on the number of inmates who currently suffers from mental illness. He also stated that the police department should create a unit and train officers to deal with mental cases.
I think the time has come for the police department. It's difficult for me to say Royal Grenada Police Force. I think we need to change the nomenclature. Our police department, the good men and women, and the acting commissioner to take a look at creating a unit, a small unit, and is engaged in some criminal wrongdoing, you cannot send out the policeman from CID or the ones who are on the traffic beat. We need trained, designated officers, because we have seen now persons who have been killed. We saw the case of Steve Carrington. Steve Carrington last month was killed by the police when they went into his home, and it is not the first case. I don't think the police went to the home of Mr. Carrington to cause his death.
Nikita Houston, MTV News.
Chair of the Grenada Cancer Society, Dr. Sonia Nixon, is encouraging Grenadians to participate in an obesity awareness fun, run and walk hosted by the Rotary Club of Grenada as part of efforts to curb obesity, which can lead to the onset of non-communicable diseases.
On March 19th, the Rotary Club of Grenada will stage a walk because Rotary Club is going to focus on how we're going to control the epidemic that we begin to face of childhood obesity. Children who are way overweight for their height and age. Now, overweight children become overweight people. Overweight people have diseases that we're really trying to eradicate. Again, high blood pressure, diabetes, cancers, difficulty breathing, and of course we want to make sure that our children are doing well, they're not bullied, that they can play games, that their asthma is doesn't act up very often, that they're not at risk for having high cholesterol and all other things. So join the Rotary Club. Next week Sunday, the 19th of March, we're going to be walking from Roy St. John Field, which is right across from PW, Public Workers Union, on Port Highway, to Quarantine Park. Everyone is welcome. Quarantine Park also has a beautiful place for our children to play. Our monkey bars, slides, swings, sandbox, you name it. The merry-go-round thing that makes you dizzy, but children seem to be immune to that. Right? So please come, take your children down. And if you're not going to do that, just take your children for a walk. Go outside and play ring-a-ring-a-rosy, whatever it is. Let's keep our children active, let's keep them well, and let's keep our families remaining in a good state of health.
That's the second segment of news for Wednesday. We'll have regional highlights coming up.
The second segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with the Communal Cooperative Credit Union Limited. To grow with us, save with us.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business.
For your education.
For your financial freedom.
For that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
Hello, Grenada. It's TGIF time again with the NLA. Thank goodness it's Friday. Every Friday in March, place 5 bets or more in a single ticket purchase on Cash 4, Pick 3 or Play Away. You automatically receive a Quick Pick inline ticket valued at $1. NLA is giving back more plays, more chances, more opportunities, and more prizes. Remember, when you play, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building. Promotion ends March 31st. You must be 18 years and over to participate.
Do you know you can lower your electricity bill by changing the way you do laundry? Front-loader washing machines are designed to reduce electricity and water consumption. When upgrading, buy with this in mind. You can also lower your electricity bill by doing full loads of laundry, using the sunlight to dry your clothes, and ironing in bulk. As an individual consumer, I cannot impact global fuel prices. However, I can ease the burden of rising fuel rates by changing the way I do laundry. What can you do?
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Easter is coming, and that means it's time to do some spring cleaning. It's time to upgrade and refresh your home today and save up to 30% off store-wide. Change off that old lounge chair, dining room table, or any furniture item now and save big. Plus, shop our large selection of appliances, televisions, and electronics for the biggest deals. No cash, no problem. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance and pay $0 for 30 days. And before you check out, don't forget to add extended warranty with our Quartz Super Shield product, which will protect your purchase for up to 4 years. This offer is available online at shopquartz.com for a limited time only. Act now before the deals are gone. Conditions apply. Quartz, bringing value home.
From the farm to the store to your home. Supporting farmers, catering for your needs. The Food Fair Supermarket provides fresh fruits and vegetables from its 2 convenient locations for over 5 decades. The Food Fair Supermarkets, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
The third segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Get ready to witness the ultimate sporting spectacle at the Ariza National Athletics Championship 2023. This 2-day event is taking place on March 11th and 12th at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium with a jam-packed schedule of middle and long distance races, sprint races, field and jump events. This is an event not to be missed. Come see Track Blazers, Ace, 473 MVP, Fusion, Rising Stars, Velocity, New Track Club and schools will be competing to showcase their talent and vie for national supremacy. This is the final opportunity for athletes to qualify for the Carifta Games. Admission $20. Children under 12 can enjoy the excitement for just $10. Also, don't miss out on the big showdown in the senior men's 400 meters between Commonwealth semi-finalists Michael Francois, Adian Peters, Troy Mason, and Sibile Felix. It's the Ariza National Athletics Championship, March 11th and 12th at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Get your tickets now.
Welcome back as we now join Clifton James for this evening's Regional Roundup.
Good evening with tonight's MTV Regional Roundup. I am Clifton James. Over in Trinidad, it has become imperative for all governments across the globe, and in Trinidad and Tobago particularly, to ensure that they implement policies as a matter of priority aimed at bridging the digital gender gap in populations, whilst simultaneously leveraging technology and innovation to achieve gender equality. Opposition UNC leader Kamala Pisar-Bisesa stated this yesterday in a message on International Women's Day 2023 being observed today. This year's theme is Digitalize, all for innovation and technology for gender equality. Pisar-Bisesa said the theme is of particular significance in a world that is emerging from the medical and economic ravages of the devastating COVID-19 pandemic. She said, in the past 3 years, the critical role that digital technology plays in the everyday lives of all human beings has become more evident as the world has been forced to alter its way of doing business in almost every sphere. Unfortunately, the pandemic has also exposed and exacerbated the fact that the ongoing regressive gender gap that the world continues to grapple with extends to this critical digital sphere, with women being disproportionately affected by the shift to remote work and online learning. Pisar-Bisesa noted that according to the International Telecommunications Union, women were 8% less likely than men to own a mobile phone and 20% less likely to use the internet. In Guyana, following the interception of an outgoing male passenger by Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit (CANU) officials at the Chedijagan International Airport, Guyanese national Cranston Henry, based in the United States, has been sentenced to 4 years in prison and fined $30,000. He reportedly confessed to attempting to smuggle $13.3 million worth of cocaine concealed in milk packets. More in this HGP TV report.
Henry appeared before Senior Magistrate Sunil Scarce at the Diamond Magistrates Court, where he admitted to trafficking 6.070 kilograms of cocaine on March 2, 2023, at the Chedijagan International Airport. Meanwhile, his co-accused 44-year-old Calypsonian Mark Ferdinand of Poydroin, West Bank de Morara, denied the same charge when he appeared before Senior Magistrate Leron Daly at the Georgetown Magistrates Court and was remanded to prison until March 27, 2023. Reports stated that on the day in question, CANU ranks intercepted 52-year-old Henry, who was an outgoing passenger destined for the United States of America. When questioned, he admitted to having a quantity of cocaine in his luggage. A search led to the discovery of 7 milk packets containing a whitish powdery substance, which tested positive for cocaine. Further investigation led to the arrest of Ferdinand, who was previously arrested in 2015 in the United States of America for drug trafficking. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Tourists flocked to the Caribbean last year in numbers not seen since the pandemic began, with the Dutch Caribbean and US territories like Puerto Rico surpassing even pre-pandemic visitor arrivals, officials said on Tuesday. More than 28 million people visited the region in 2022, a more than 50% jump compared with the previous year, according to the Caribbean Tourism Organization. It's clearly apparent that even in the face of the devastating blows delivered by the pandemic as a region, we have responded with hope, strength and determination to prevail, Kenneth Bryan, the organization's chairman, said during a press conference in Barbados. The US market drove more than 50% of arrivals to the region last year, with 14.6 million US tourist visitors, 3 million more than the previous year. Meanwhile, the number of European visitors nearly doubled to 5.2 million. Visits from Canada, though, did not rebound as expected, with some 2.1 million reported. Governments, tourism officials and local businesses in one of the most tourism-dependent regions in the world celebrated the increase in visits. The Caribbean region had one of the quickest recovery rates in 2022, said Neil Walters, the tourism organisation's acting Secretary General. 6 islands and countries, including Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic and the US Virgin Islands, surpassed total pre-pandemic arrival numbers, Walters said. For MTV Regional Roundup, I am Clifton James.
This is the MTV Evening News. We'll be back with you after the break.
The third segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with Arise Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Get ready to witness the ultimate sporting spectacle at the Arise National Athletics Championship 2023. This two-day event is taking place on March 11th and 12th at the Karani James Athletic Stadium with a jam-packed schedule of middle and long-distance races, sprint races, field and jump events. This is an event not to be missed. Come see Track Blazers, Ace, 473 MVP, Fusion, Rising Stars, Velocity, New Track Club and schools will be competing to showcase their talent and vie for national supremacy. This is the final opportunity for athletes to qualify for the Carifta Games. Admission $20. Children under 12 can enjoy the excitement for just $10. Also, don't miss out on the big showdown in the senior men's 400 meters between Commonwealth semi-finalists Michael Francois, Adian Peters, Troy Mason, and Simile Felix. It's the Ariza National Athletics Championship, March 11th and 12th at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. Get your tickets now.
You're watching the MTV Evening News. Sporting highlights are next.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Hello, Grenada. It's TGIF time again with the NLA. Thank goodness it's Friday. Every Friday in March, place 5 bets or more in a single ticket purchase on Cash 4, Pick 3 or Play Away. You automatically receive a Quick Pick inline ticket valued at $1. NLA is giving back more plays, more chances, more opportunities, and more prizes. Remember, when you play, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building. Promotion ends March 31st. You must be 18 years and over to participate.
Get ready to witness the ultimate sporting spectacle at the Ariza National Athletics Championship 2023. This two-day event is taking place on March 11th and 12th at the Karani James Athletic Stadium with a jam-packed schedule of middle and long-distance races, sprint races, field and jump events. This is an event not to be missed. Come see Track Blazers, Ace, 473 MVP, Fusion, Rising Stars, Velocity, New Track Club and schools will be competing to showcase their talent and vie for national supremacy. This is the final opportunity for athletes to qualify for the Carifta Games. Admission $20. Children under 12 can enjoy the excitement for just $10. Also, don't miss out on the big showdown in the senior men's 400 meters between Commonwealth semi-finalists Michael Francois, Adian Peters, Troy Mason, and Simile Felix. It's the Ariza National Athletics Championship, March 11th and 12th at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. Get your tickets now.
Holy Natural Spring Water is a water for every occasion. On the field of sports, at your workplace, just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy Natural Spring Water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy Natural Spring Water, Grenada's purest bottled water.
Pan Am Sports Women in Sports Commission hosts first Women in Sports Forum. We'll have details to that and other highlights coming up for you in our sporting segment.
The MTV Evening Sports is brought to you in association with Courts, bringing value home.
What you gonna do when the rain is coming down? Nothing more to do when there's no one else around. Bring it back to the middle, push, take it back to the rhythm. Keep it up for good when the sky's falling down. All you gotta do is to bring it to the ground. Speed it up to your inner move. Stop, start, down. Nobody can get what you're going through.
A special evening to you now, sporting fans. Here's Donella Holston with your highlights.
Good evening, sporting fans. The Pan Am Sports Women in Sports Commission hosted the first Women in Sport Forum organized by Pan Am Sports in Panama from March 7th to 8th, 2023. Sport leaders throughout the Americas came together to join the path for change. Sport leaders from the 41 member countries of Pan Am Sports gathered to tackle the biggest issues and challenges concerning equality in sport and present strategies to increase representation at every level in national Olympic committees and sports federations. The theme of the forum was Joining the Path for Change, and topics included safe sport, increasing representation, empowerment, best practices, equality, and inclusion that were covered by presentations by leaders in the field, as well as interactive panel discussions and workshops. The Grenada Olympic Committee was represented by President Bernard Wilson, General Secretary Vida Bruno Victor, Women in Sports Chairperson and member of Pan Am Sports Women's Commission, Dr. Jane Noel, and committee member Dr. Deborah Ann Stephen John. On Wednesday, lawn tennis equipment was handed over to the Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture and Grenada Tennis Association from the New York Junior Tennis League at the Ministry of Youth Conference Room. Tennis coach of the New York Junior Tennis League is Marlene Charles.
All right, I'm from New York and I'm here to teach tennis, have a clinic, get the children involved, loving it. It's all fun. So my goal is to see them playing already. I will do a quick tennis demonstration with them where they start playing tennis within half an hour to an hour. This is called quick tennis. All right, you set up the children age 5 to age 18 and we work the courts backhand, forehand, serve, and watch them develop and enjoy it. So my goal is to let them take this further, all right? That's my goal. See that they go further. It's not just for the 2 weeks. It's to go on like they stated. I would like to keep doing this because that's my love in tennis. And I appreciate you all a whole lot having me here.
Minister with responsibility for youth, sports and culture is Honorable Ron Redhead.
And it's always a pleasure for government to be on the receiving end of a gift and to demonstrate our gratitude. You know, oftentimes when the government gets something, it is first in line to say thank you. But when it gives, it has to go searching for the people sometimes. So it's always a pleasure to give and show and demonstrate our gratitude for kind gestures throughout. And we are very appreciative of it. As coordinator mentioned, of sports mentioned, we will be utilizing these things. And these equipment will go a long way in building out our program here at the ministry and by extension, the national agenda for tennis.
The finals of the Independent Secondary School Cricket Tournament, which is the final activity in celebration of Grenada's 49th Independence celebration, took place on Tuesday, March 7th at the Lassages playing field. The St. David's Catholic Secondary School defeated the Grenville Secondary School by 129 runs to claim the Independent Secondary School's Cricket Championship title. St. David's Catholic Secondary School made 253 all out. Kurt Murray, who scored the most runs in the tournament,
of 377 made 110, and Grenville Secondary School scored 124. Top scorer was Wazim Edwards with 72 runs, and top bowler was Curtin Murray with 4 for 16. Grenadian table tennis player captured 4 of the 5 titles at stake in the recently concluded LQ Classic Junior Table Tennis Tournament, which started on the 3rd of March and ended on March 4th at the Grenada Youth Center in Grand Anse. The tournament had participants from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dominica, Barbados, and Grenada. The results of the 2023 LQ Classic Junior Table Tennis Tournament is as follows. Boys under 13, the winner was Johnny Mark from Grenada. Boys under 15, Quanell Walker from Grenada. Boys under 19, winner is Cedric Marquez from Grenada. Girls under 13, winner is Sevine Frederick from Grenada. And girls under 19, winner is Shanicia Delpeche from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The LQ Sports Classic is an annual tournament staged by Life Quality Sports, Inc. And that's it for this evening's sports. I am Donella Hostin.
Thank you, Donello, for the latest sporting highlights there. And viewers, we'll have the public forecast information coming up for you, and then a recap of the headlines when we return.
The MTV Evening Sports was brought to you in association with Quartz, bringing value home.
MTV Weather Report comes to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Need a quick, convenient way to pay your bills and avoid lines? Use the online banking feature from Republic Bank, First Caribbean, or Co-op Bank. Contact them today to set up your online banking and enjoy 24-hour convenience to make your bill payments. Stay safe. Grenlec, we are united even when we are apart.
Good Wednesday evening, viewers. Once again with your nighttime weather forecast and meteorologist Wayne Williams. Partly cloudy conditions which greeted the start of the day continued into midday, and by afternoon we even saw an increase in cloudiness. Most of those clouds, however, are upper level, so while they brought some cooling, didn't really generate much rain. There is still some moisture below that, and that did bring some brief showers, mostly in the southern and the extreme northern part of the island. Elsewhere, no other major features. The haze remains slight and more to the south of the island. Towards the northern part of the Caribbean, there is a trough that is moving into that area, so we're keeping our eyes on it and see how it could affect our weather maybe in the next 5 days to 1 week. Right now, the cloudiness continues to move across the islands. Most of it is upper level. We still have moisture in it, the upper level clouds wouldn't bring us some rain, but you do have moisture associated with that cloudiness and that movement that could bring some brief nighttime showers. Nothing significant, however. The forecast for Wednesday night, partly cloudy conditions, windy conditions as well. Winds would be gusting at times, but you can expect it to blow between 10 and 22 miles per hour most of the time, coming in from between the east and the southeast. We still do have a bit of moonlight to enjoy, although it would be obscured a bit by the upper level clouds. Moon rose this early on this evening at 7:21. It's going to set at 7:40 in the morning. Minimum temperature tonight around 24. Partly cloudy conditions will dominate tomorrow as those patches of clouds keep moving across. Very strong upper level winds will keep pushing them over the extreme southern Caribbean. Winds will remain gusty, coming in from the east to the southeast, between 12 and 24 miles per hour. Choppy seas, 4 to 5 foot waves. Sunrise again at 6:18. It's going to set again at 6:17. Temperature will climb to around 30 and feel about 30. Partly cloudy conditions in Bridgetown, generally fair in Kingston. Also partly cloudy in Kingston and Miami. Lots more sunshine in New York. Rain for London. The way things are looking now, it seems as if we're going to get, should expect Friday and the weekend to bring partly cloudy conditions, mostly from low sulfur level clouds. Any buildup of moisture may happen till much later in the week or towards the next weekend. Before that, we're going to have partly sunny skies and mostly sunny towards the middle of next week. That's it for me for Wednesday night, folks. Have yourself a great night. Join me again on Thursday.
MTV Weather Report was brought to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
And now to end the news, a recap of the main stories. International Women's Day 2023 Expo highlighted women in male-dominated fields. Sandals Grenada also treated their female staff members to a tea party with a difference for International Women's Day. Pump It Up is back. Yes, indeed, Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited has launched its annual Pump It Up Family Fun Walk. And in sport, Pan Am Sports Women in Sports Commission has hosted the first Women in Sports Forum. We've had details to those and other stories to look to at the Public Forecast information. And so now, on behalf of the News and Production Departments, I'm Tony Julian. We all thank you for viewing and wish you, and especially all ladies, happy International Women's Night.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCour Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment as you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest. Visit or call LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Sybil Goulben Matthew, also known as Mammy Nodge, of Moran St. John, passed away on Sunday, 12th February 2023, at the age of 87. She was the mother of Brian, Moses, Johnny, Errol, Michael, George, Frank and Trinidad, Cecilia, Shirley, Mona, Alice, Claudette, and Loris. Grandmother of 54, including Sean, Harriet, Brittany, Arlene, Steve, Venice, David, Damien, Mikel, Jude, Rena, Janelle, Jimmy, Junior, Jerry, Ryan, Samantha, Sammy, Shalisha, Shadona, Michael, and Brian. Great-grandmother of 24, including Garvin, Dion, Tyler, Makila, Liam, Aiden, Aaliyah, Isaiah, John, Jemiah, Elizabeth, and Alexander. Mother-in-law of Bob Marley, Michael, Simon, Aaron, Rita, Dorothy, and Zalika in Trinidad. Many nieces and nephews including Lena, Annie, Bio, Toyo, Miriam, Nicole, and Youthlin. Many other relatives and friends including Roger Williams and family, the Matthew, Tika, Ned, and Bernard families of Moran, the Goulben family of Concord, Alicia in the USA, Catherine, the Merger, Dwarika, and Maureen families of St. Patrick, Elaine Charles, Matthew Stephen and family, members of the Victoria and Grove Seventh-day Adventist churches, and friends and neighbours of Moran, Grosse Pointe, Cloget and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Sybil Goulbin Matthew, also known as Mammy Nodge of Moran St. John, will take place on Thursday, March 9th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Grove Seventh-day Adventist Church, and entombment will be at the Douglaston Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Matthias Herbert McIntyre, also known as Herbert Bridgman of Byland St. Andrew, died on Tuesday, 14th February 2023, at the age of 94. Left to mourn his wife Anne Bridgman, children Louise, Lucy, Elsa and Dora Bridgman, all residing in Canada, Gail Bridgman in the USA, and Bernie Dubiset, Vicky Robertson, and Eric Bridgman, all in Grenada. Sister Margaret de Bellet in Grenada. Brother Morris Vincent in Jamaica. 9 grandchildren including Kira, Kaylee and Siobhan Bridgman, and Narlin Roberts, Nixon and Erilyn Robertson. 5 great-grands. 5 sons-in-law including Clarence Dubiset and Errol Robertson. Caregivers Geraldine Phillip, Rhonda Francis, Suzanne Williams, and Sally Ann Andrew. Other relatives and friends including Kanasha Bridgman, Delma Thomas, Parliamentary Representative, Dr. Andy Bernard, Ronald Bridgman, Nurse Giselle Fletcher, Nurse L. Wise Charles, the Bridgman and McIntyre families of Bylands, New Hampshire, and Paraclete, Camelin Douglas, parishioners of St. Matthew's R.C. Church and St. Michael's R.C. Church, and friends and neighbours of Bylands and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Matthias Herbert McIntyre, also known as Herbert Bridgman of Byland St. Andrew, will take place on Thursday, March 9th at 11 a.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Matthew's R.C. Church, Birchgrove, and interment will be at the Grand Bras Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Dwayne Dwight Cuffey of Belle Isle St. David, a former employee of the Ministry of Health, passed away on Thursday, February 9th, 2023, at the age of 36. He was the son of Telma Cuffey and Francis Klein, brother of Donlin, Donnell and Devon Cuffey, and Silma James in the USA, nephew of Elsia Thompson, Gloria, Sherma, David and Anthony Cuffey in Grenada, Junior, Gordon, Venny and Anthony Klein in the USA. Many other relatives and friends including Derek Thompson and family, Bernard Joseph, Judy Ann Matheson, Keisha and Kelly Cuffey of Bellevue, Maeve Hayes in the USA, Adina, Kimberly, Vanelle and Vanessa Cuffey, Merlin Colvin and family, Nicole and Michelle Cambridge, and many other relatives and friends. The funeral of the late Dwayne Dwight Cuffey of Belle Isle St. David will take place on Thursday, March 9th at 1:30 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Church of the Immaculate Conception, Petite Esperance, St. David, and interment will be at the St. David Catholic Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Patricia Brenda Bernardine, née Francis, also known as Pat, of Upper Depredine Street, Grove, St. John, passed away on Sunday, 12th February 2023, at the age of 58. Left to mourn are her husband, Seaton Bernardine, mother, Evelyn Francis, children Jeremy, Gerald and Jordan Francis, Javier, Jabbery, and Jadine Bernardine. Siblings Claudia Francis, Sarah Francis Cariuk, Steve Francis, Leroy Francis, Chris Calica, and Jerry Nicholas. Grandchild, PJ Elijah Alexander Bernardine. Other relatives and friends, Cindy Modeste, Princess Alexander, Jeanette Bernard, Hazel Ann Young, Jeanette Bernardine and family, Lorna Adams and family, Joan Harry and family, Gracelyn Frederick and family, Eunice St. Paul and family, Ma Louise George and family, Rosemary Charles and family, Lucia Aline and family, Kaisha Joseph and family, Hazel Mills and family, Ruthlyn and family, and Alice Sabazan, and friends and neighbours of Grove Estate, Moran, Cloget, and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Patricia Brenda Bernardine, née Francis, also known as Pat, of Upper Depredine Street, Grove, St. John, will take place on Thursday, March 9th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Peter's Catholic Church, Grove, and interment will be at the Douglaston Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Teresa Jo Noriega, also known as Sharma, and Tanti of New Hampshire St. George, a former employee of East Women's Corporation, passed away on Sunday, 19th February. She was the wife of Robert Leonard Noriega, mother of Mark in Trinidad, Marsha, Micah, Marsley, and Marcellus, grandmother of Mariela and Malika, step-grandmother of Tiara, sister of Sharon Bridgman Scott, and Henry Timmy Bridgman in New York, Rona Burke in St. Vincent, Donna Bell in Bermuda, and Beverly Dawn Phillip, aunt of many including Kent, Caleb, Turi, Monique, Lucas, Roika Martin, Vashti, Marlon, and Tinik, aunt-in-law of Abena, Melissa, Sunshine, Masimba, Stefan, Mandy, Delia, Mulagata, Aisha, Maxie, and Mayosi, sister-in-law of Martin Scott, Oswald Burke, Alfred Peters, Kent Ball, Miguel Johnson, Michael Johnson, Desiree Bridgman, Melina Kwamina, Margot Johnson, and Christine Charles. Niece of many including Myrtle Placid, Amelia Greenidge, Alberta Valsin, Charles Nathaniel, Ellie and Daston Morrell, Dennis Tanker Bridgman, Sampson, and Mandeville Paris. Many cousins, other relatives, and friends including the Bridgman, Mackey, Edwards, Murrell, Williams families, Dr. Kit Mitchell, Nimrod Oliver, Sheldon Scott, Andre Donald, Mommy George, Miss Pink, Sister Lena Antwine, Miss Charles, Nurse Elva Edwards, the Northeast Women's Corporation workers, friends and neighbors of New Hampshire and surrounding areas. The funeral service of the late Teresa Jo Noriega, also known as Sharma and Tanti of New Hampshire St. George, a former employee of East Women's Corporation, will take place on Thursday, 9th March at 1 p.m. The funeral service will be held at the Wallace Memorial Church and the interment will be at the family cemetery, New Hampshire. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Clarice Redhead, also known as Kao of Cafe Crochet St. Andrew, passed away on Thursday, 12 January, at the age of 86. She was the mother of Maureen Redhead Calise, Clinton Fraser, Dana Peters, Hazelyn Cumberbatch, grandmother of 27 including Credell, Rickson, Avion, Nafisha, Kada, Clinton, Clint, Katian, Kim, Tamika, Duan, Dwight, Omega, Marcus, Junior, and Kenisha. Great-grandmother of 17, great-great-grandmother of 2, sister of Vincent Rubin and David Charles, mother-in-law of Dunstan Calise, Cheryl Antwine, Philbert Peters, and Kent James. Many nieces and nephews including Matthew, Connie, Beverly, Michael, Delma, Elma, Meredith, Martin, Michelle, and Mitchie. Many other relatives and friends including Jelen McWilkin and family, Valerie Telesford and family, Christine McIntosh and family, Velma Regis and family, Mabel Celestine and family, Joyce McIntosh and family, Marilda Bernard and family, Dessa Mason and family, Rose Felix and family, Gordon and family, Sean Elliott and family, Merlin St. Louis and family, Edris Blesdale, Neva and family, Claudia Mitchell and family, Carmen Mitchell and family, Benedict King and family, Jean Rubin and family, friends and neighbors of Crowshoe and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Clarice Redhead, also known as Kao, of Cafe Crowshoe St. Andrew, will take place on Thursday, 9th March at 12 noon. Funeral service will be held at the St. Martin de Porres Catholic Church, Crowshoe St. Andrew, and the interment will be at the Churchyard Cemetery. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Credell Cerilia Francis of Cafe Crowshoe St. Andrew passed away on Tuesday, 28 February 2023 at the age of 47. She was the mother of Delvon Fortune and Travis Redhead, grandmother of Navon Fortune, daughter of Maureen Redhead Caliste and Benedict Francis, stepdaughter of Dunstan Caliste and Jacqueline Francis, sister of Kester, Oscar, Wayne, Jimmy, Rickson, Ashe, Kevin, Candace, Aria, Clint, Clinton, and Kathy Ann, close and dear friend of Raphael Livingston, niece of Dana, Hazel, Laura, and Clinton Redhead. Many other relatives and close friends in Canada, the USA, and Grenada, including Noreen, Daphne, Beverly, Arita, Kenesha, Desiree, Rolda, Jillian, Jackie, Suzanne, Jessie, Tamika, Lurena, Valerie and family, Christine and family, Jillian and family, Culture and Decima, and friends and neighbours of Cafe, Crowshoe, and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Credell Cerilia Francis of Cafe, Crowshoe, St. Andrew will take place on Thursday, March 9th at 12 noon. Funeral service will be held at the St. Martin de Porres Roman Catholic Church, Crowshoe, and interment will be at the Churchyard Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Elizabeth Rouget, also known as Dora Noel of Munich, who resided at Rivulet Lane, Grenville, St. Andrew, member of the Grenville Roman Catholic Mothers Union, passed away on Friday, 17th February 2023, at the age of 93. She was the mother of Desmond Lord, former teacher at the St. Andrews RC School, grandmother of Darius Andrews, Deirdre Andrews Date, Vernessa Gilbert, and Kazim Joseph, great-grandmother of 8, sister of Mona Batiste and Hermelin Benjamin in Grenada, and Lucy Francis in the USA, aunt of many including Urban Mason, Kay, Barry, Sean, Anne, Gemma, Glenda, Wilfred, and Cynthia. Many other relatives and close friends, including the Rouget and Noel families of Munich, Belle Isle in the USA and England, the Charles family of Happy Hill, the parish priest and parishioners of the Grenville Roman Catholic Church, members of the Mothers Union, the guys by Mr. Peter's shop and Maxie's bar, and neighbors and friends of Rivulet Lane, Grenville, and surrounding areas. The funeral service for the late Elizabeth Rouget, also known as Dora Noel of Munich, who resided at Rivulet Lane, Grenville, St. Andrew, will take place on Friday, March 10th at 2 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Grenville RC Church and interment will be at the Grand Bras Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Isaac Nathaniel Peters, also known as Ian of Tempe St. George, a well-known businessman in the community, passed away on Friday, 17th February, at the age of 92. He was the loving husband of Veronica Peters, father of Gail Peters of Tempe, Pamela Gordon in the USA, Clive Peters of Montrouge, and Ruby Holder in the UK, father-in-law of Robert Gordon in the USA, grandfather of Gail Peters, Olivia Durant, Warren Holder, and Carl Holder, great-grandfather of Cleo and Renee, brother-in-law of Harry Harris, Edlin Peters, and Magrilia Alexander. Many nieces and nephews including Dr. Richard Nixon, Alston Peters, Vaughn Nixon, Stanley, Althea Charles, Yolande Samuel, Grisling Gordon, and Evelyn Pridham, grand-uncle of many in Grenada, the UK, Canada, and the USA. Many other close relatives and friends including Jeffrey Williams, Cicely Otway, Sarah Peters, Joel Peters and family, Kathleen Peters and family, the Japal family of Crowshoe, Melicia Japal Rodney, the Otway family in Canada and Grenada, Margaret Harris and family, Michael and Judy Dean, the Ogilvy family in the UK, members of the Gospel Hall Assemblies of Grenada, friends and neighbors of Tempe and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Isaac Nathaniel Peters, also known as Ian, a well-known businessman in the community of Tempe St. George, will take place on Monday, 13th March at 1 p.m. The funeral service will be held at the Garden of Remembrance Funeral Chapel, Cemetery Hill, St. George, according to Gospel Hall rites, and the entombment will be at the St. George's Center Cemetery. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Evadne Mary Gill Alexander, also known as Vads, of Spring Garden, Birchgrove, St. Andrew, passed away on Monday, 20th February 2023, at the age of 71. Left to mourn are her siblings Wilma, Kenrick, Bernice, Roy, Perpetua, Cornelius, Francis, and Joseph. Son Radon Gill. Daughter-in-law Sheena Gill. Granddaughters Angel and Shania Gill. Goddaughters Juliet Forrester Garraway, Diane Jeffrey, and Alyssa David. Nieces and nephews Jane, Pat, Rodney, Morgan, Kelvin, Dolland, Mosley, Berna, Griffith, Rachel, Amanda, Hillary, Queen Annie, Michael, Sean, Joel, Shane and Erin. In-laws Marilyn, Carol, Yvette, Judy, Jimmy and Ron. Other relatives and friends including Saga, Dick, Gemma Joseph, Sharon Wilfred, Emmeline Pear, Dorabella McIntyre, Esther and family, Magis and family, Denise Berkeley and family, Annette Noel and family, Monica and family, Victor Renault and family, the Ventor family of Beaulieu, the Roberts family, Pastor George Fletcher and the congregation of the New Testament Church of God, Birchgrove, and neighbours and friends of Birchgrove, Bylands, Monthorn and surrounding areas, and Willis. The funeral of the late Evadne Mary Gill Alexander, also known as Vads, of Spring Garden, Birchgrove, St. Andrew, will take place on Tuesday, 14th March at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the New Testament Church of God, Birchgrove, St. Andrew, and interment will be at the St. Rose Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Anthony Felix Scott, also known as Hero, of Victoria St. Mark, who resided at Fontenoy St. George, a well-known bus driver on Route number 8, passed away on Saturday, 18th February 2023, at the age of 66. Left to mourn is his wife, Nestor Ann Scott, mother, Beryl Alexis in Trinidad, adopted mother, Sheila Sanders in Canada, stepmother, Catherine Scott, children, Keisha Paul in Grenada, Fitzroy Phillip in Canada, and Zorina Cox in the USA, adopted daughter, Finda Phillip in Canada, adopted son, Sean Oliver, grandchildren, Blossom and Juana George in Grenada, Zuriah in the USA, Sedora, Vienna and Dario in Canada, siblings Stephen, Yvonne, Ben, Ellen, Carol and Rachel in Grenada, Philip, Hilary, Miriam and Wendy in Trinidad, Owen, Yvette, Daphne, Evadine, Ina, Joseph, Eugene, Price and Winston in the USA, caretaker, Nurse Rowena Oliver, aunt and uncle, Yvonne Bishop and Victor Scott, nieces and nephews, Siobhan, Shadell, Sabrina, Redon, Terrianne, Stefan, Hakeem, Rashim, Brady, Braden, Brandon, Brian, Paulinus, Andalyn, Neva, and many others in Trinidad, Grenada, and the USA. Son-in-law, Shale and Gain. Brothers-in-law, Gerald Roberts in Grenada, and Silvus Roberts. Sister-in-law, Esther Amadi. Cousin of many including Johnny Belforn, the Nicholas family, and the Scott families of Grove and St. Patrick. Close friends, Addington Nash in Trinidad, Dr. Lorraine Frederick and family, and Miss Rita Moore and family. Other relatives and friends including Aldwin and Leslyn James, Jonah Mede, Adonai Johnson, Anika, Alana Francois, Alicia Samuel, Sarana, Joshua, members of the Men in the Footsteps of Christ, Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception, and neighbors and friends of Fontenoy, Cherry Hill, and in Trinidad, England, and the USA. The funeral of the late Anthony Felix Scott, also known as Hero, of Victoria St. Mark, who resided at Fontenoy St. George, will take place on Wednesday, March 15th at 10:30 a.m. Funeral service will be held at the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception, Church Street, St. George's, and interment will be at the Coast Guard Cemetery, Victoria St. Mark. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Daphne Park, also known as Darling, of Monjaloo St. George, died on Tuesday, 24th January 2023, at the age of 92. Left to mourn, two sisters, Marjorie Nurse in the USA and Lillian Critchlow in Trinidad. 7 children, Carl Park in Nevis, James and Chris Park in Grenada, Albert and Paul Park in the USA, Matthew Park in the UK, and Mark Park in the Turks and Caicos Islands. 7 daughters-in-law, Janice, Sonia, Suzanne, Merrill, Sonia Green Park, June and Beverly. 14 grandchildren, Ernesto, Nadia, Dr. Krista Park, Jason, Najee, Kevin, Carl Jr., Jareen, Ashaki, Akel, Brianna, Cleo, Akia, and Nia. 7 great-grandchildren, 4 sisters-in-law, Anne Lucas, Lady Judith Palmer, Joyce Park, and Anthea Park. to brothers-in-law Reginald and Anthony Park. Other relatives including Adrian Nurse, Dominic Park and Sherma Clement. Other friends and family including the Palmer family of Montparnassus, Marion Thornhill and family of Mongeloo, Christopher Theodore and the Theodore family of Mongeloo, Teresa Retted and family of Mardi Gras, the Park, Gatt, Bowen, Braffett and Maloney families, Carl David and the David family, the family of the late George of Lothers Lane, Norma Eastman in the USA, Cecile Cruikshank, Bernadette Robertson and family in the USA, Crispin Andrew and family, Leslie Austin, Lydia Francis, Maria Gibson, David Mark, Andy Greenwich, Dr. Laurie Frederick, Rona Young, Gillian John, the residents and staff of Spice Care Home, Jerry Pear and family of Windsor Forest, Jacqueline Blackman and family of Woburn, Greta Coutain, Chris and Charmaine Gill, the Lane family, Beryl Dubisat, Judith and Francine Ross, Gentle de Gale, and several nieces and nephews residing in Trinidad and the USA. A memorial service for the late Daphne Park of Mongeloo St. George will take place on Wednesday, March 15th at 1 p.m. at the St. George's Anglican Church, followed by interment of ashes at the Mongeloo Cemetery. In lieu of flowers, please make a donation to the Anglican Church Rebuilding Fund. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Bernadette Melina Collier, née Wilson, also known as Dedet, of Birchgrove St. Andrew, passed away on Saturday, 11th February 2023, at the age of 80. She was the mother of Dominic John Wilson in the USA, Erlyn Wilson Cyrus, Gemma, Leslie Ann and Sharon Wilson, Sherman and Desmond Collier. Stepmother of Janice Antoine Passé in Trinidad and Lucille Antoine in Grenada. Sister of Adrian Wilson. Grandmother of Rachel Wilson Pear in England, Nimron Wilson in Canada, Jason and Nicole Wilson in the USA, Terence also known as brother, Aaron also known as Baby Key, Kimani, Anissa and Alicia Wilson, Cornell Matthew, Nariah and Caden Collier. Great-grandmother of 13, mother-in-law of Brenda Wilson in the USA and Derek Scott Cyrus in Grenada. Aunt of many including Denise Whiteman, Jerome and Lorna Humphrey, Catherine Kate Edwards, Valerie Hulda Jeffrey, and Dennis Foray, also known as Flint. Grand-aunt of many including Alan Odell Whiteman and Said Unadeji. Sister-in-law of Maureen Wilson and Rita Collier. Many relatives and friends including Evelyn Berkeley and Rose Telesford in the USA, Andrew Williams, Evelyn Jones, Jacqueline and Lassell Williams, Dr. Orthalie Renault, Maria Foray and family, Verna Noel and family, Frida Peters and family, Debbie Belma Marai and family, Lloydris Beggs and family, the staff of the Birchgrove Medical Station, the priest and parishioners of St. Matthew's RC, the Wilson, Foray and Collier families, and friends and neighbours of Providence, Beauregard, and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Bernadette Melina Collier, née Wilson, also known as Dedet, of Birchgrove St. Andrew, will take place on Thursday, March 16th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the St. Matthew's RC Church, Birchgrove, and interment will be at the St. Rose Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Anthony McQueen, also known as Hillard Chambers, of Grandroy, who resided at Upper Depredine Street, Grove St. John, passed away on Sunday, 5th March 2023, at the age of 83. The funeral arrangements for the late Anthony McQueen, also known as Hillard Chambers, of Grandroy, who resided at Upper Depredine Street, Grove St. John, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home. Frances Bernard, also known as Cassie, of Grand Bacalet St. Andrew, passed away on Saturday, 4th March 2023, at the age of 93. The funeral arrangements for the late Frances Bernard, also known as Cassie, of Grand Bacalet St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Rita Alexander, also known as Auntie Rita, of Munich St. Andrew, who resided at Laborie St. George, passed away on Sunday, 26 February, at the age of 92. The funeral arrangement for the late Rita Alexander, also known as Auntie Rita of Munich St. Andrew, who resided at Laborie St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home.
Anthony Benedict Etienne, also known as Cess and Tony, of Lassages St. David, passed away on Saturday, 18 February 2023, at the age of 61. The funeral arrangements for the late Anthony Benedict Etienne, also known as Cess and Tony, of Lassages St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Kenneth David Burke, of 269 Woodland St. George, passed away on Saturday, 25th February 2023, at the age of 86. The funeral arrangements for the late Kenneth David Burke, of 269 Woodland St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Bernard Jerry George, also known as Plim and Black Boy, of Croshew St. Andrew, passed away on Saturday, 25th February 2023, at the age of 65. The funeral arrangements for the late Bernard Jerry George, also known as Plim and Black Boy, of Croshew St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on. Thank you for watching.
I am Godwill James, an MD and a member of Gateway Assembly. Medically, death is regarded as an end or a cessation